What's going on, YouTube? I am here. I just haven't turned the light on yet. This light used to be voice activated, but for some reason it's not working. Which it's terrible lighting. It's terrible. 2 seconds. Maybe 3 seconds. I moved this camera around. Basically, my goal is to try and have the stream set up for the welding table just like right there, ready to go all the time, instead of having to set up tripods and do all that stuff every single time I stream. And I'm really having a hard time placing this camera. I think we had it pretty well dialed last week with using the action camera there. But the action camera is the only camera I've got that only has one cable going to it. So this camera here has 2 cables going to it. This one here, 2 cables. But the action camera, 1 cable. So I wanted to keep that as the around the shop camera. Wouldn't be a stream without a whole bunch of talking about the stream. My issue right now is that the lighting is really poor for that camera. Maybe if I just pop a torch up here, try and solve the problem quickly. That'll do for now. Makes it very hard to... Oh, that won't do for now. Makes it very hard to see the chat. You'd think after all this time I'd just like have my stream to a point where I could hit go, but I have to mess with stuff all the time. Put that there, it's probably no good. If I put that there, it might be better. That's a bit better. Just trying to balance out the light. Okay, so what are we here for tonight? Chris is here. G'day, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Alright, what are we doing? We have, let's have a look here. Alright, we have the TIGWARE. Alright, this is separate, but I got the TIGWARE number 5. Why is it so dark? So TIGWARE number 5, it's a quartz gas lens or quartz cup. If I can, it is in focus. So this screws onto just a standard gas lens for a number 9, number 20 torch. Just screws straight on there, no slip-on job, it's threaded on the inside, and then the quartz cup section, I guess, the quartz part just slides out, and there's an O-ring seal in there. I kind of wish that I unpackaged it on the stream, but I was actually keen to test it before the stream in case it was really bad, and then I had put it in the title of the stream. But let me just dive in to the old rubbish bin and let me show you the packaging. So I bought it from, where did I buy it from? Ben Brothers. Pretty much it came in just these plastic bags that were then bubble wrapped and put in like a poly mailer. Not how I would have done it, but we're not here to critique the packaging, even though it's something I take very, very seriously. So this is the part number here, AC150 number 5. So yeah, packaging it, not receiving it in a cardboard box was how I would have liked to have seen it. But it arrived in one piece, so I can't really complain. And then it came with these instructions as well. So it came with just these instructions. And what I noticed in these instructions is that it actually refers to it as Pyrex instead of quartz. And I actually bought this one specifically because it said it was a quartz cup. And I've chosen quartz to explore quartz over Pyrex for aluminium because of the different temperature and melting point. Not that I think it really matters, but I am more interested in exploring how quartz holds up compared to Pyrex. But other than that, it just gives us some tips on how to set it up. So it says to use a standard gas lens for number 9, number 20, or a stubby lens for a number 17, 18, and 26. It also says that no O-rings are required to seal, just screw straight on. Recommends a minimum stick out of 5 millimeters, and it's rated to 150 amps. It does recommend on here that it wants 10 seconds of post flow, which I'm not particularly keen about, and greater than 5 liters a minute on argon. And that's basically the rundown of the little pamphlet that comes with it. I definitely like to see the materials list updated, or this is actually Pyrex and not quartz. And I guess that's a debatable topic on the internet as well, but that's what we wanted. So I'm going to try and give this the fairest test possible. I guess I have spoiled it already that I have already tried it. And we're just going to pretend like I haven't. So I had a really hard time gripping it for setting it up earlier, so I'm just wearing some still some heat-proof, cut-proof gloves, but they have you know, the grippy shit on the front. So let's, if we can, we'll just whip this gas lens off. Try and keep this in frame if at all possible. I was going to record this session, so we'll start now. Hopefully that doesn't mess with the stream too much. This is not going to be nice. Stream-wise, I didn't intend to stream on Monday night last night, but I ended up being free. My commitment cancelled, and I couldn't actually stream because I couldn't get internet to my streaming computer. And what it was the network plug, the network adapter on the motherboard just doesn't work anymore. So today I grabbed a PCI network adapter, and we have internet once again, but it's a lot slower. It's receiving data, or sending and receiving data, a hell of a lot slower than the motherboard. So I'm curious about the quality of the stream tonight. It is still within the limits of the stream, but not ideal. But I wanted to make sure that that was the issue before I went and hunted down a new motherboard. So we're still using the 2% serrated tungsten, and I'm absolutely loving it. I don't understand why it was never on my radar before. Absolutely fantastic tungsten, and I've had a bit of a look since I've fallen in love with it, and nobody seems to talk about it, and I don't know why. And that's what makes me think that maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't know something about it, but if it works, it's cool. So this tube, this quartz tube, has a groove that looks like it's chipped into it. That's cut into it, and it's really damaged the glass. But I can't imagine that there's another way to do that. But it's only a single O-ring seal, and something I noticed when I was using it earlier was, and I don't know if I can show that well enough, but you can see that pretty well. There's a big old wobble in that. I'd love to get a dial indicator and find out what that is, but I'm not going to go to that much trouble tonight. But that amount of movement seems less than ideal to me. Something that could easily be solved with a second O-ring. Wouldn't even necessarily need that locator if it was further down in the nylon, or Teflon rather, in the Teflon, just to stop that from wobbling around. But I'm being super critical for something that's really cool, Australian made. But I'm just sort of pointing these things out because that's what we're sort of here to have a look at. Now, I also bought this back cap. I've been eyeing off these back caps for a very long time, and every time I go to purchase one, or every time I'm purchasing something else and want to chuck one in my cart as well, they're sold out. And I finally got one, and I actually really wanted one because they're weighted as opposed to, you know, the standard ones that you get. So this one here is the Unimig one, which I really like because it's fat, and if you ever can't grip it, it will lock into one of the 5/8 holes on your welding table, and you can get a bit of leverage to remove it. But I noticed an issue with this, and I'm going to set this aside for now and come back to this after we've played with the Pyrex cup. I actually had some major issues while I was testing it, and didn't think to blame the back cap as well, but always the issue when trying a lot of things at once. I think makes it hard to know what the actual problem is, and you change everything all in one go. So we are going to aim to set the gas at 7 litres, and ordinarily I run the welding machine on auto with the post flow, and that'll run anything from 4.5 seconds to 8 seconds generally. Not like some other machines that will run for what seems like 6 or 7 hours. It tends to be, generally, quite on the short side. So let's see where we're at right now, while we're still over here. I think you can see that pretty well. You might not see that very well. So I am about 7.5, creeping up to 8 litres a minute there. Stick out is a little over 5 mil, but that tip will ball over as soon as we light up on a part. And I've got a couple of these Evo 8 catch cans that I'm going to use to just test it out on. And my goal is to end the night with it all set up and weld this R32 catch can. So these cans are going to be fully, they're going to be powder coated, and you know, not that it really makes a difference, but this is the tank that I feel comfortable practicing on, so that's what we're going to do. And we still have, I've made this little cable holder to try and give me a bit of relief from this cable that's on the welding helmet camera, and hopefully it keeps it. I was getting it tangled around my ears earlier. And what else? I'm down to my last 8, 9, 10 bits of filler wire, but I do have a emergency pack if we run out tonight. So I should have the camera set over here, and I wasn't sure if that was lined up at all, but if we scooch him over here. So this is the little action cam / webcam situation. So I was playing around with the post flow. So they suggest 10-second post flow, which seems astronomical. So I tried 6.5 just as an experiment. It wasn't enough, so I'm going to try 7.5. I'm going to creep up on it, and we'll change tungstens to keep an eye on that post flow. So all the other settings are the same. We're still on square wave. We're still trying out 90 Hertz, -28 on the AC balance. We're at 110 amps max on the foot pedal, and this is a straight current setting. We've still got the 5% hot start level. I'm trying to remember what they call it. Hot start level, and for 0.8 seconds to compensate for the in TIG settings here we have the 95% spark force, high frequency start to try and help the electronics for the stream. Is that enough? I think that sets up the scene way more than it needed to be. Now let's make a couple of worlds and see what's going on. I think I did make a third welding screen, but we'll just dive into one of the welding screens. I think, yeah, I've got one there that has the welder showing, and the other one will be my welding helmet, and then we've got the one on that side camera. So let's do our first weld with the TIGWARE number 5 quartz cup. I just noticed that the welding helmet camera wasn't activated, so I've just activated that, and now we should be good to weld. Okay, so first thing I notice is that gas coverage is not fantastic. You can see there's virtually no etching line on the sides, or it's very feathered versus a harsh etching line. And we were around 8 liters 8 liters a minute on that. And on the tungsten, how can I show you the tungsten? I can just pull this thing off. So tungsten, not too bad. It is the last millimeter that's just got a little bit of discoloration. So 7.5 seconds we were at, maybe 8 seconds would be enough, and that was with me not moving for the entire post flow, which is not how I normally operate, but trying to do everything I can to give this thing the benefit of the doubt. So I've just upped that to 8 seconds, and we're going to increase the gas flow at the torch. Which I don't have a joule set up, I don't think. So I've got my freaking head tethered to the racking. So the welder has a gas test button, so instead of having to hit the foot pedal, I can just hit the gas test button. I get 25 seconds. So I'm going to go, I mean that's almost 9 liters, 8.5, 9 liters. That's a lot of gas. But we'll try it out. We're looking for success, not for problems so much. So I'm going to cruise along this little dogleg part. You'll be able to see it in the welding helmet. So what we've done is increase the post flow by 1/2 second and increase the argon flow by about 1 litre a minute. Okay, we got much better results there. Still, I was going to say still a bit of discoloration, but the discoloration will continue from the one we had before. So we will swap out that tungsten and see if it's still got discoloration. But the weld is much nicer. So we got a nice crisp etching zone compared to the first weld, and the weld is a lot shinier. So that was around 9 liters, 8 to 9 liters, a little bit higher than the 7 liters that I would normally run. I think that's pretty good. We will, I will continue on a couple of more welds with this setup and just see if everything stays cool. I might try moving the torch around a little bit after the welds done, just to see if the gas flow changes anything on the tungsten. Okay, so everything looks pretty good. I would like to turn that gas down just a fraction. Just for curiosity, so you can see that on that travel speed we're getting a much wider etching zone. So I'd like to just try and combat that a little bit with lowering the gas a fraction. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but okay. So let's just look at settings. So just to recap the gas settings, I'm at 8 seconds post flow, which seems excessive. So now we're at about 8 litres a minute, 7.5, 8 litres a minute on this gauge. So this gauge here, this gauge, it actually doesn't mean anything. It's just reference to this gauge. So normally with this gauge, I run 7 litres a minute on a gas lens and get great results. So that's all I'm basing it on. I feel like I got a lisp tonight. I don't know what's going on, but I hear myself talking and I feel like I've got a lisp tonight. But we'll persist there. So I'll do one more weld and just see how that gas flow is. And then we'll have a look at that back cap, and then we'll play around with the post flow. So I'm definitely, I don't know how to illustrate this, but I'm definitely not a fan of how much this tube wiggles here. That really seems unacceptable to me. But we'll just keep on. Okay. So how well can you see that? So I've got a lot of discoloration on the tungsten there. There you go, you can see that pretty well. So I had gone from 8 seconds to 7.7. We'll go back up to 8 seconds. And good gash coverage for dropping it down to 8 litres. So we're saving a litre a minute on what we started with. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'd like to just try one more side. I could probably go down this angled bit here and just give that a try, just to make sure everything's good before we start playing around with that back cap, which is where I had problems earlier. So just want to make sure we're all good before we start playing around with that. And I will swap out the tungsten when we swap the back cap. Okay, everything seems pretty good, so we will go ahead and play with that back cap. I'll swap out this glove. I'm going to keep the grippy glove on one hand just to try and be able to grip this back cap, and you may get to see what I'm talking about, but earlier I couldn't undo the thing. And it's too large to fit in the holes in the welding table to use my welding table trick. Okay, so we got the back cap. Going to take this take the quartz tube out for safety. Let's get rid of this piece of tungsten and we will replace it with a fresh one. But I don't think we'll get to that point just yet. So let me, if I hold the torch here, I really want to show you the problem, which I think I need to take this old UV lens off. And been leaving that on because I haven't adjusted the ISO settings without it. So if I can hold that there, you may get to see what I'm talking about. So take this Unimig back cap off, and this is the TIGWARE cap, and I'll try my best to show you, but the O-ring is the issue. How the heck can I show you this? I wish I had a macro lens. So there you can see, yeah, so the O-ring has just pinched out one side, so I was getting just gas leaking out there. I don't know if you probably can't pick that up, but there's definite leak happening out the back there. So you see that O-ring pinched on that side and not on this side. So I think it's just a case of the wrong size O-ring. So what I'm going to do is just liberate the O-ring that came with it. I did notice on the website, and I might pull that up in a second and we'll buzz through that. Now, I'm in no way trying to say anything negative about TIGWARE. I am actively trying to solve my problems that I'm experiencing so I can use this stuff regularly. Really, I mean, I think if you know me or my products, that all I want to do is support Australian businesses. And from my perspective, the smaller the better. Interestingly, the O-ring off the, well, this is just a Chinese back cap, probably one that came with a torch, Paraweld or something, is the same size as the one supplied here, but it is of a different material, or it's at least got a different dye in it, but it actually didn't survive. It didn't survive the removal process, so I'll turf that and I'll go grab another one. See what the go is. Need to make sure I take my helmet off because it's tethered. Got like paranoia about walking around being tethered. I've walked off numerous times on my during the day. I'm so used to just getting up and making a minor change or doing something, and having my helmet roped to the bench has been a very hard thing to get used to. So I've got another Unimig back cap in here. So let's just yeet that O-ring that broke. Trying very carefully not to damage it. And there it is. So it just flung off, but here it is. Pop it on the TIGWARE back cap, and let's see if we can seal up okay this time. Yes, that's going through. Where are you guys? That's doing exactly what you'd expect it to do. I'm not going to pull it off again to put it side by side with the supplied O-ring, but there is clearly a difference. Clearly a difference in the O-rings. So the thing with my quest to support Australia is that not necessarily the companies that are making stuff in Australia are buying their consumables or their parts from Australia. So I'm again just talking for the sake of talking, but there's every possibility that this is a 10,000 pack or 100,000 pack of O-rings from China. You know, like, understandable. But that's the never-ending conversation of Australia made. I was actually in my early days of AT Performance, I was actually denied Australian made because the tungstens that I was using, this was the first hurdle that we couldn't get past. The tungstens that I was using were made in China. So I couldn't get the Australian made seal. This was 10 years ago or more. and I haven't bothered applying since. I've just pledged to support Australia as much and wherever I can, as much as possible and wherever I can. What's going on with this camera now? So that's supposed to be, oh, because we're zoomed in. I'm just like, why is it so dark? But it's because we're zoomed in. So now we have the TIGWARE back cap. I really love, I love the TIGWARE back cap, and if you ever get the opportunity to grab one, I wish I had my scales. My scales are upstairs, but they're so weighty. Really good addition to a little number 9 or a number 20 torch. Having this longer gas cup, I don't mind that either. I mean, it could definitely be, or maybe not. I guess it's probably designed to keep the heat away. That's probably why it is the length it is. I'm sure there's a good amount of R&D that's gone into it, but this little TIG torch set up like this, I'm a big fan of. It actually gives me, I don't know if you notice, but when I'm on my prop a lot of the time, I'm forever trying to pull my back fingers out of the way, whereas I'd like to rest on my little finger, on my pinky, but with a stubby lens, so with a stubby cup coming off, it is way back here, and it's not wide enough, because I guess my welding career, I originally learnt with a number 26 torch, and then spent a great deal of my time using heavy torches as I was learning and figuring it all out. So I like the stubby stuff for the longevity, I guess, for spending a full day welding is what I'm trying to say. The weight makes a big difference. But yeah, I am really happy with the design and the way these parts work. I love the idea of just keeping a series of these tubes and just being able to pull them and swap them out. Australian made is the biggest thing, and I would actually love to know, and I might reach out to them and find out if the quartz and stuff is made in Australia. If they make them in-house, that's something that I'm really interested in. But while we're here, so I'm recording this session to maybe cut it down into a YouTube video. Since I couldn't find much. There's only one guy that I could see making TIGWARE stuff, and I think he might be the guy who makes TIGWARE stuff. So this is the guy here. I paid a fair bit more than that. I bought it from Ben Brothers. I paid full retail, and I think for both ends of this, which camera are you guys looking at? For both ends, I paid about 120 bucks, $115, I think. So let's get this glove off. So what I wanted to show, and I'll order some. I need to move it down here. This is the first time I've ever shared a web browser, so bear with me while I figure it out. So you see on their website, it's got quartz and ceramic. So that's what makes me think that in these instructions that maybe they used to be Pyrex, and they've changed the build to quartz now. But the ceramic cup I'm interested in trying as well. So I often when I fit up a part, I will use the cup to sort of push something into place. And I don't think, or I actually wouldn't, I wouldn't even attempt it with that setup. So the question is whether I go to flexi head, like a modular CK head, or if I could get away with it with the ceramic cup. But that's not the question for right now. And it looks like that they have put a an aluminium sleeve on there since this as well, which makes me think that there have been revisions in this part. So the nozzles, I don't know what you see. Yes, it all updates in real time. So the nozzles here are replaceable for 18 bucks each, which I think is a good deal for quartz. So yeah, so that's, I guess, me just giving my rundown on my experience with the TIGWARE number 5 quartz cup and the back cap. I wanted to show the back cap as well for the sake of the video, but oh, here we go. This is, yeah, yeah. So I paid $70, but I only got one. So it says one spare quartz nozzle here. Can you see my cursor? Yes. But I didn't get that, so I think I paid $70 for it, but didn't get a second quartz nozzle. Anyway, beside the point, doesn't matter. Let's go back here and just check out these back caps. I just wanted to show you, or I just wanted to look for myself more than anything, the O-ring situation. So yeah, so on the pictures that I saw, it didn't have an O-ring. Very hard to gauge off of those pictures if it's got an oversized O-ring like I experienced. Just checking out the reviews as well. But anyway, that's been my experience so far on my initial use with the TIGWARE. What screen do I get you in? These guys here. I've got looking too. What is that screen? Ah, the welder as well. Okay. I get a different set of menus compared to my Stream Deck when I use the mouse. So that's been my experience so far. I am super stoked with this product to be using Australian made. If there's a company that makes a torch that can compete with CK that's in Australia, I'd love to know about that as well. But yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to continue welding out this catch can and keep minor tweaking. But just before I do that, I don't think water will help my lisp, but all right, cool. So what's the point of all this? So the reason, the original reason why I even started exploring quartz cups was, in all honesty, it was FOMO. I watched Jesse from Everlast stream, and he was using a quartz cup, or talking about a quartz cup, and it sort of got me thinking that I would like to try them. And then it became a mission, because I think that it would be better for stream as far as viewing the stream goes, but I think we've got a little bit more setup to do before there's any benefit, because to me so far it looks the same. And the TIGWARE stuff specifically, I'm very interested in because of the Australian made aspect. So I have also ordered a quartz cup from Unimig, which is proprietary to their T2 torch, but I think it would be quite easy to make an adapter to suit the number 20. But after my experience with this, buying an adapter and then having a $18 interchangeable tube, the Unimig quartz cups are actually $15 plus postage, so there's really no benefit, or there'd be no cost benefit in the two. So That's where I'm at right now, but I think it'll probably be a Furic or something similar ultimately, but time will tell. So let's. So the only thing we've changed now is the back cap. We're about to find out if that has made a difference to the gas coming out. It did for me earlier, but you know, we've rectified that O-ring situation. So I'm going to weld this filter basket in. Yeah, the Furic one looks good. Just yeah, the fact that it's not a gas lens setup's not a deal breaker by any means, but a gas lens would be preferable. Who's the other company? Edge. Edge is who I'm thinking of. I think Edge do a slip-on number 9, which is what I was hoping to do with the Unimig gas lens. Cup is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, they should arrive next week, hopefully. So we'll have a little bit of an inspection on those. I have gone into Sydney Tools and had a look at the ones there. They sell them in a pack. I've just bought the adapter and the cup to try. The adapter just to sort of get the dimensions, to hopefully machine something. But I honestly, now that I've got this, I honestly don't think that it's worth all the effort. So post flow at 8 seconds doesn't seem like enough. I'm just going to go 8.2, try that out, and let's just keep on welding. Okay, everything seems okay. It definitely feels a lot different to weld, and that's sort of the point of sticking with it. There will be some adaptation that needs to happen. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with tonight is this bloody camera cable. So I'm going to attempt to just run around the whole top of this thing. Really, I mean, they do recommend a 10-second post flow. The post flow, even at 8.5 seconds, is not long enough. And I guess that they've recommended it, so understandable. That side light just went out, so I am in darkness again. I don't know if this little panel light would be charged a little bit by now. Yes. Just dangle this guy over here. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so yeah, we'll just keep cruising along. I kind of want to, and it might be the case to actually play with some other settings. Definitely, there's a difference between a gas lens and just a standard collet body. For me, getting results. Yeah, the Wolfram is Wolfram German for tungsten? I think I've had this conversation with somebody before. But yeah, I know the ones that you're talking about. These ones that I'm using today are the Unimig ones I just picked up from Total Tools, and they seem ground really well. I find with if you get the cheap Chinese ones, they don't snap very well. I think that's a good test. They sort of splinter. These ones snap really well, so I don't know if that's a sign of a good tungsten or not, but yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. But yeah, the Wolfram ones I've seen before. Somebody local sells them too, I think. Yeah, 2% lanthanated. These 2% seriated, it's like a whole different animal. I feel like it is the experience that people claim that they're getting with the laser or the E3, the weld-born tungstens. For me, I didn't enjoy them at all, but this has been a whole different experience. Big fan of 2% seriated now. feel like I found what works for me. Took a little while to figure it out. At the start, I was dabbing really close together, and I feel like it was because I could see too much. And then, yeah, couldn't get the width that I wanted around here, and then by the time I got through this curve, I sort of found what works for me, and I think what it was that I never balled this tungsten over. You can see the discoloration, or you might not be able to see the discoloration. I never balled the tungsten, and it balled along this front edge here. And now I have maybe 4 mil stick out. The paperwork that came with this thing suggested or said, somewhere in here it said a minimum of 5 mil stick out, I'm sure. Blah, 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 blah. Minimum stick out 5 millimeters. And I kind of feel like the point of having a see-through cup is to have less stick out, or the ability to have less stick out. So let's jump in here. So I'm going to reluctantly go up to 10 seconds. And I definitely feel like I need to up the shade of my helmet as well. Normally I run at number 11. I've just upped it to 12. Everything seems a lot brighter, and that's understandable as well. So cool. That was really nice in the end. We'll just pop him over there, and I also feel like I'm using a lot less filler tonight. I did mention the other day that I wish that I counted my filler on these streams, so I'm putting them off to the side instead of in the filler bin, the rod end bin. And I also up to 110 hertz instead of 90 hertz as well, which I think improved things somewhat as well. So I will swap out this. Actually, I might re-grind this tungsten, since gives me an opportunity to show off my tungsten grinder attachment that I designed. It's not local. It's not handy. I've been using one that I've printed off Thingiverse, and after exploring tungsten grinders, I decided that I would just have a crack at making my own design to sort of overcome the pitfalls of the ones that had already been designed. So basically, I've got a 2.4 mil collet. This is from a number 17 stubby, which are the 5.4 mil outside diameter. And I've just made a whole bunch of different angles, and it works great. Which I have made a YouTube video about this, but it's just a $50 Azito drill bit sharpener. I'm going to make this attachment that I've made available. I've done a revision which was printing today to adjust the length, the length of putting the collets in. I didn't allow enough length, and I don't want to expect people to have to. I've just noticed that looks like this quartz cup is cracked. It has definitely chipped on the inside already. Maybe this is just not a worthwhile exploration. I wonder when that chipped. I don't think my video footage is good enough. It's chipped from the inside. It's just a chip on the inside. Can I hold that in a point where you can see? Yeah, you can see just here. It's chipped in the first session there. Interesting. It definitely won't affect its performance at all, but I did sit it down on the bench, so I guess eagle-eyed viewers could probably make me take full responsibility for that, which I'm totally willing to do. So anyway, yeah, tungsten grinder, that 3D printer attachment, I haven't figured out a way to make downloadable files available on my website, but it's on my list of things that I need to do. And I also want to make my 3D files available for download for free, but also available to purchase the 3D part if you don't have your own printer. So that's something that I'm working on, because I have a lot of things like all around the shop that I've designed and made. So yeah, this is what I don't like, the fact that this wiggles around so much. I was just noticing when I was bowling that tungsten that that it was really over to one side there. Yeah, it's just weird that it chipped on the inside, not on the outside. I guess that's really what I was trying to point out as far as putting it on the bench. But yeah, thermal shock is a possibility from the bench, but doesn't seem likely. The more the more I try and defend this thing, the more I just think that perhaps this is just not a battle that I'm willing to fight. Alright, so I've welded this entire catch can out of order, and I'm not going to stop now. I have increased the post flow to, actually, I don't have 10 seconds on the bowling profile. Which perhaps I should. So we'll just go back to profile 1. I was just on profile 10 for the bowling situation, which I forgot to save all those changes I made, which was just 110 hertz and we did 10 seconds on the post flow. All right, and let's just keep on welding. Okay, let's zoom in and just chat about what just happened. So what I'm experiencing is a lot of sag in this tube. I'm just like, do I just freaking not complain about it, or I'll just show you what just happened. So I welded across this edge here, and can I show you here? How can I get that angle? So basically this thing is wobbling a lot. I wonder how far that actually is. It looks about 2.5 mil, and it was all the way down here. You can see almost no etching zone across this side because the tungsten is almost pushed up against the side of that tube. And then on this side we've got plenty of etching zone. I was on about a 45-degree angle. My angle was actually really good, so and it doesn't seem to matter how I rotate that or anything. What I think I'm going to do is abandon the TIGWARE quartz cup and pop my regular number 5 why though? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna abandon that. I'll grab the one that I normally use. I won't bother swapping out to a new one. If nothing else, we got the super cool back cap. You know, maybe it's just not for me. And I'll just reset the gas flow, because I bet you gas flow's on par, which is really good. We'll just hit that 7 litres a minute thereabouts, and I'm really going to miss that extra length already. I did really like the fact that that stuck out further. But if it doesn't do the job that I want it to do, it's no good. Okay, so let's zoom this camera out. Let's zoom this camera out and get some sort of focus there. There's a little bit of a delay between the camera and this screen over here, which is supposed to be a real-time situation. So this corner up here, I'm just going to fusion weld it and seal it all up so we can weld this seam, which looks like an atrocious seam. All right, now just going to reduce that post flow now that we've actually, I'll go back to auto now that we're not using the quartz cup, and I just want to save. Actually, I won't, because we'll go back to running our 90 Hertz now. I didn't need to do that because we're going to go away and come back. So we'll go down to program number 9. No, actually, it's program number 4, which is a pulse setting. And I'm going to just switch to a 2.4mm filler because I do have quite a large gap just down here, but I'm hoping I can just fill or keep cool at least with the larger filler. Alright, that was as successful as it could have been. Quite a large gap, so got a bit crappy looking down the bottom, and that camera froze at some point, obviously. M50. I got the camera that faces me on a GorillaPod. I can't even deactivate it. No, there's nothing I can do about that. Everything, oh no, we're good. I was going to say everything's frozen, but it's just that camera. No, but I can reach it from here, which is awesome. We can figure out, yep, there it is. Hopefully restarting it might bring it back. And let's turn it back on. Nope. If we come here, it is completely gone. Here, activate. Yes, there it is. Cool. Let's go back to looking. And where are we at? We need to weld this curve now. I feel like I was in the middle of saying something before I noticed that that camera had frozen, but mustn't be important. I'll stop recording. Okay, stream is still up. Everything's still live. Yes, cool. I'm going to just pop a block under here. And let's weld this curve. No, well, it can't be important. I'm just like, I feel like I was going to say something, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Pliers. Not entirely sure what's going on. Just things just feel a little weird. Everything looks okay. So I'm using a wedge collet in here. So theoretically, the only thing that's different on this setup is this back cap. Just felt like the gas flow was inconsistent during that weld, but just on inspection it doesn't look too bad, so I'll continue on. I'm talking, but the microphone's not on. Not sure where it's made. I don't know what that's in reference to, Chris, or if that was an answer to something that I said that I don't remember saying, or a piece of information is missing on my part, in my head at least. Okay, so just as I was tapering off there, I touched the tungsten on the puddle. This machine does have, let's jump in here, this machine does have the, what do they call it? I never know what they call it, the current freeze and the TIG antifreeze. I forget which one, but it auto kills the machine if it senses that you dip. Pyrex stubby kit, KO cell, yeah, KO do one as well, but I think does it only go down to a number 6? KO, I would dare say, and I'm completely assuming that it would be from China. I have seen those kits on AliExpress, or similar kits. They could be made literally anywhere, but I'm pretty sure the KO kits only go down to a number 6. But yeah, if they go down to a number 5, they'd be worth a try. But he doesn't. I don't think he sells the cups separately. which I think they're comes with number 4 and number 8. Yeah, I think they're is it Akuma, or they used to trade as Akuma, which is what I've got. Which I think, I don't know what size mine are. I've got an old Akuma set that Total Tools got for me, but it turned out to, like I later learnt that it was just a Chinese set. These would be a number 12 or something. These Pyrex guys here are from, they're from Akuma, so Chinese thing. This isn't the kit that has my Furic stuff in it. Yeah, number 4 and 8. Yeah, it might be worth having a look anyway. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit disappointed in that cup tonight. I was hoping I recorded this session, but I was hoping to make a video, but I'm definitely not going to release a video that's not positive. We had a camera freeze. Who's that? That's this guy. Number 10. Deactivate, activate. All good. Couldn't see anything where the sets are made. Yeah. Tough to find. Especially, I'd say buying the pieces in bulk and then kitting them, turning them into kits. But really, if I was going to persist with it, probably you'd have to go the Furic setup, wouldn't you? But I don't know, just a little bit despondent right now. Got a little bit of a negative. Yeah, I'd like to go for another 15 minutes or so at least. So. I think we'll just try and buzz out as much as this tank as we can. Yeah. But yeah, I think, definitely think going the Pyrex set from Furic. I'm sure somebody else makes a. I think, like I said, Edge make them. It was just the freight that was expensive, but they are made in America. Might be worth investigating, but yeah, just a little bit disappointed. This was one of those things like it wasn't a work purchase as much as it was something I was looking forward to. Just the results weren't good enough. Yeah, I think this wobble situation is really my biggest gripe. To have that much wobble, and I'm very mindful that you know, like, and I get it with my products as well, you know, like one person out of 500 might have an issue, and it's so easy just to disregard that customer with the issue, not disregard them, but you know, not explore any product updates. But I bloody love all the feedback, but sometimes you know, like, I guess in full transparency, sometimes a customer has an issue and you know, it seems very customer specific, a customer specific problem. So yeah, I don't know. I might send this the VOD from this video to them, but I might do like talk about all that in the wrap up of this. Let's weld this filter basket in and at least try and blast around this top and reconvene and see how we feel about welding the bottom. Yeah, the Unimig one is oh, my stream keeps dropping out. I wonder what the rules are. I don't think I normally stream this long. Yeah, the Unimig ones are what I've bought. I don't know what the if I it's not I'm pretty sure the Unimig ones are quartz as well. So I think this is what I bought. I might be able to show you. Not this one. No. Yeah, if I think this will show you internet share. Yeah, so this is what I've bought. So they're coming. So these are for the T2 torch, which I think I've had a quick look at them. So this adapter here is what slips onto the torch. So I've grabbed one of these adapters. I don't know if you see the mouse, the cursor, not on this website. So yeah, I've grabbed one of those adapters and a couple of these quartz cups. And I was going to see if I could just get the measurements off of that adapter and either have something spun up or make something to convert to the 20 torch. But that's an option as well. But again, Unimig stuff, it's these ones fit straight onto a CK standard torch. Those ones do. Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure on. They look like they would. I imagine just with an O-ring and they'll slip on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't, you know, like the more that I think about it tonight, the more I think like I'm just, you know, like I'm trying to solve a problem that I don't have, and that's often the catalyst for disappointment, I think. But also, I mean, I have to review the footage. You might have a better idea than I do at this point, but was the quartz cup better viewing than the ceramic one? That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it a little bit nicer to view the welding. And I don't know if it's even worth all this trouble, but you know, I'm willing to invest a little bit to try and at least figure out what works and what doesn't. that's the top done. The monitor that I look at in front of me has turned off and not turned back on again, which I can only assume that, oh no, here it comes. It flashes. I think this screen was as well, if I caught it out the corner of my eye, okay. It flashes with the welder. It's powering up, but it's not doing the turning on part. Oh, it might have officially died. That's just the way it is. So I have to talk to you back here. The Unimig kit comes with one of everything. Yeah, so the Unimig kit and that's to suit a number 9 and 17 torch. Let me have a look. National Welding Supplies. I don't think you're able to chuck a link in the chat. I don't think I've fixed the auto thing. You might be able to, because I've given you different privileges. So if I search Unimig Pyrex, yeah, no. Yeah, okay, this is what I was looking at. Where's the number 9 torch? Number 9. Ah, here. Yeah, okay. This is probably what you're talking about. If I do this, this guy here, oh, it's 1.6, but Pyrex. No, I can't click that screen. Got to click this screen. For 2.4, yeah, that's them. Cool. Yeah, so I guess like most of Unimig's stuff, it's all sort of proprietary. Long, short. So this guy, 2.4 mil short. Yeah, cool. These guys are local, aren't they? Isn't National Welding just in Smithfield or somewhere? Cup O-ring. Yeah, cool. Oh, I will. Like how they've got get a quote, but then also the price there. Yeah, cool. I'll save those to my list and go check them out. I feel like I've seen these somewhere else as well. Maybe Sydney Tools or somewhere. But cheers for that. That's really awesome. How do I? Yeah, I believe they're in Australia. We can find out, can't we? Probably. National Welding. Let's about us normally, isn't it? Oh, Wetherell Park. Close, but not close. Cool. Yeah, I'll add them to my list and give them a go. I'll wait for these Unimig ones that I've ordered to get here. But yeah, cheers for that. That's bloody awesome. So I guess, I mean, what do we have to report tonight? The outcomes of the two lenses probably best seen on these two edges here. And in all honesty, I mean, they're both number 5. You can see the gas coverage is very similar. Everything is pretty much the same, apart from this old wobbly boy. And I don't quite know what to do. I guess I might tag TIGWARE in this video, and I don't actually want anything from them, so you know, I just want to let them see my experience if they give a shit. But no matter what, my experience is just my experience. I understand that Pyrex is a little bit, I guess, unpredictable, so that wobble, I could very well get another one of these sleeves and not have that wobble. Also, just pulling that, oh no, that's not a good solution. I was going to say, just pulling that out slightly takes that wobble out, but maybe I'll try grabbing a ceramic one and another one, and just see, but I might get a bit of information back from them and see what they think. There's a little bit of distortion in the back here too, ever so slightly, which has got to be a heat thing, but we're only welding at 110 amps, not even, you know, we're sitting around 80, I imagine. Let's just get in there and have a bit of a look. Yeah, so 60 to 90 amps. But anyway, I was hoping tonight would be a much different video. I was actually really excited about these parts coming. I am super happy with this back cap. I really like the offset of the weight on it. But this was one of those things, when I ordered it, I would check the tracking number numerous times a day, and that doesn't happen often. You know, shit comes and goes in this shop all day, every day, but this I was super excited about, and unfortunately wasn't what I was hoping it would be. But I'll review the footage later and see if there is any benefit in pursuing Pyrex or quartz to make these videos or streams a little bit better, or let you see a bit more. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it. But anyway, that was tonight's goal. I'll finish welding this tank tomorrow. We might even do that to start the stream. Nothing sort of went to plan. I need to keep looking backwards to see you guys. What's the thing? What do I want to know? I want to know if you've tried. Actually, I want to know if you've tried these TIGWARE cups, and what your experience has been. If you're watching this video after it's live, let me know in the comments below. That would be really beneficial, I think, to anybody who watches this video after it's live. I'm going to leave the title as it is, so people can find it if they're hunting these things. And I will stress once again that no hard feelings, everything's cool. This has just been my experience with this product tonight. So everyone who joined the stream tonight, thank you so much for coming along and spending some time with me. Chris, thank you as always for jumping in the chat and having a bit of a dialogue with me. That's always really appreciated. Anybody who watches this stream after it was live, watches the VOD, thank you so much. If you like what I'm doing, there is an entire stream playlist. Once these videos have been up for a few days, I put them on private or unlisted, and they go into the stream playlist, and you can find that on my channel. Do a ton of welding. I'm trying real hard not to swear, I don't know why. Do a ton of welding, and it's a lot of the same, but it's all a little bit different. So if you like what I'm doing, check it out. If you want to see what I'm up to in the future, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're on that crawl, we're on that climb. It's a little bit of a crawl, but we're on the climb to 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting closer every day. And I really appreciate every single one of you for helping me eke up to that milestone. It really means a lot. And that's it. Thank you all for watching. I will be back tomorrow night for another stream. Don't know what we got going on, but it'll be something cool. We'll weld something cool on this table. Have a great night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.